There is one single thing that will ensure you hire the right person in your business. And if you don't put this in place, you have way too high a chance of hiring the wrong person in your business. My name's Alex Charfen, and I have worked with some of the most incredible entrepreneurs in the world. I've run dozens of 7- and 8-figure businesses, and today I coach entrepreneurs through my company, Simple Operations, to help them scale businesses without having to do everything else, and that means building teams. And I feel like there's one single most important factor in building teams and getting the right person on your team, that you hire true believers. And here's what I mean by true believers. True believers are people who believe in you, they believe in what you do, and they believe in the people you serve or the product that you have in the marketplace. And I often share with entrepreneurs, if you hire true believers, you will never feel like you have to motivate them. If you don't, you will never feel like you can motivate someone enough. And this is why having a true believer is such a big difference. When a person actually believes in you, what your company is doing, and the people you serve, then you have someone who's going to go out and push like crazy. They're going to work on their job like it's their mission, because it is. They believe in what you do. You're going to get their discretionary efforts. And what I mean by that is, as an entrepreneur, think about, when do you get most of your great ideas? I'll give you a second. Most entrepreneurs answer in the shower or when I'm driving. What we want to make sure of, you hire true believers, because then you get that same showering and driving time. They're thinking about the business and coming up with new ideas that are going to help you. Now, here's how you make sure that you hire true believers onto your team. I'll share with you the process that we coach our clients, the process that we share with our members, the process that we use as a company. First, we analyze the company to figure out what that person's going to do. We create a 4R document, which is where we spell the role the person's going to have, the responsibilities they're going to have, the results they're going to drive, and what requirements we have for the job. And then we put that out into the marketplace and we start getting applications. Then we screen those applications to make sure that they have the experience and the requirements that we're looking for. And then before we have long interviews and a test, which is something that we absolutely do, we do what we call a culture fit interview. That is a short 15-minute interview where we're just qualifying for true believer status and to see if we like the person. And so here's how you qualify for true believer. There's 3 different levels of true believer status. They believe in you, the CEO of the company. They believe in what your company does, and they believe in the market you serve. So let's break those down. First, you as the CEO of your company. I'm fortunate that I have a decent enough profile that a lot of people coming towards us already know who I am. They listen to my podcast. They've seen me speak at a major event. And so we qualify. How do you feel about Alex? Usually I'm not the one doing the interview, or else it's really uncomfortable because I'm asking about myself. But when we're doing that culture fit interview, we want to hear things like, I'm a podcast listener. I've watched his YouTube channel. I love his content. I read the Entrepreneurial Personality Type book and it changed my life. We're looking for someone who actually believes in me. Because I know if they believe in me, then the second 2 qualifiers are probably a foregone conclusion. Now, if you don't have the same type of following, that's okay. I don't want you to feel like you can't do this. It just makes the second 2 qualifications more important. So let's jump into the second one. The second one is somebody that believes in what you do. We run a membership organization and we're a coaching company. So when we're interviewing somebody, we say, how do you feel about coaching? What do you think of the coaching industry? What do you think of coaching in general? And in that culture fit interview, we want to hear things like, I think coaching's amazing. I think it's one of the fastest ways to get ahead. I've had coaches that I absolutely love. Believe it or not, we've had people apply to work in our company and say they love me. And then when we ask them about coaching, they'll say things like, I just don't think coaching really works. I think, a lot of coaches are scammers. I've never really had a good coaching experience. And for us, that's a lot to overcome, bringing someone into a coaching company where they're going to work in a company like that every single day. I have a friend who runs a business in the ketamine space, and she runs a ketamine clinic where they put people through psychedelic experiences, and that helps them move forward and process trauma and have all types of stuff resolved. She has people apply who tell her in the interviews, I don't really believe in psychedelics. Well, do not hire that person. We want true believers in the company and what you do. Now, the third qualifier is, do they believe in your market? So for us, we serve entrepreneurs. I am so passionate about serving entrepreneurs. It is my life's mission. As entrepreneurs, we are that tiny percentage of the population that gets up every day, goes into the future, creates a new reality, then comes back to the present and demands it becomes real. That is not easy. And it is my mission to help as many entrepreneurs as I can make that journey in a way that they're successful, because let's get real, the world needs entrepreneurs today more than we ever have. And if you look at the world around you, it was created by entrepreneurs. From the device you're listening to me on, to the chair you're sitting sitting in, to the home you're in, the building, the structure, all of it was created by someone just like us. So I need someone who is passionate about helping entrepreneurs. So we ask in our Culture Fit interview, how do you feel about entrepreneurs? And we want to hear something similar, maybe not as passionate as what I just said, but we want to hear something similar. I love entrepreneurs. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I think entrepreneurs change the world. We've actually had people apply to our company when we say, how do you feel about entrepreneurs? They say things like, I think they're kind of full of themselves. And I think a lot of them are narcissistic. And I think entrepreneurs are just out for money. And I sit there and I'm like, what was the person thinking applying to our company, knowing what we do? And it's the easiest way to disqualify them. So for you, if you don't have the following, you're really looking at, do they believe in what you do as a company? And do they believe in the market you serve? If you go through these 3 qualifications, they believe in you, the company and what you do, and the market you serve, you will bring on true believers. You will get their discretionary efforts. You will have somebody who believes in your mission just as much as you do. And instead of treating what they do day to day as a job, they will treat it like their calling, and it will absolutely revolutionize and change your business. Now, if you already have a team, you might want to run them through the true believer filter, because if there's someone on your team who isn't doing as much work as the rest of your team, or isn't showing up the way the rest of your team does, or doesn't feel like they have that passion and excitement for what they're doing, they might not be a true believer, and you might have to have a difficult conversation with them, because when you fill your team with true believers, everything in your business is going to change. If this was important to you, share it with an entrepreneur who needs to hear it, and take a minute right now. I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button and be here with me as I release more content to help entrepreneurs build teams, build businesses, and let's be honest, the most important part, build lives that we really want.